Have you ever tried to get in shape, to build muscle, to lose fat, to actually become healthy, and then found yourself falling off weeks or even months down the line? What if the problem isn't you? What if the problem was the system and the society that you're embedded in, and that if you let go of this one thing, you would actually find working out so easy, even fun, even addictive, and therefore get amazing results? So what is the one thing you need to give up? It is the rush. And in this video, we're going to go into 7 unique concepts that are going to help you let go of the rush so you feel less jealous, less anxious, but more fulfilled and confident to achieve your dream body. So are you a rose or a pine tree? Maybe you're a rose, somebody who blooms really fast and dies really fast. The peak is beautiful and then they're gone. Maybe you're a pine tree where winter, summer, spring, autumn, it doesn't matter. You're all good. I've seen so many people be the roses. They get super lean, super jacked, super amazing physique by summer. They can go on extreme diets. They can go on extreme workout programs. Movie stars do this all the time. They get diet coaches and drop 30 pounds for a movie shot. And now we start to think that that's what's supposed to happen. What you want instead is to be a pine tree. You want to be the guy that whether the weather's changing, whether somebody's watching or not, you're just slowly but surely becoming yourself. If you can give up the rush to bloom so fast, if you can actually just look double, triple, quadruple the length of time that most people look, it's going to reduce your anxiety and therefore stress and therefore your chances of burnout. And this leads perfectly onto the analogy that you already know, which is the tortoise versus the hare. The tortoise, the one that goes slow, actually wins the race because he was slow and steady and consistent. When the hare just ran and ran and ran and burnt out. You want to focus on consistency and almost have in your brain that when speed goes up, consistency usually goes down. This is how so many people actually make the transformations that you think happened overnight. These people that are popping off on YouTube, on Instagram with their great physique, it might say that they made this transformation in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, but more often than not, it was the result of lots and lots of years of work and effort and trial and error that reached a tipping point, and that's when it entered your world. Next, I remember talking to one of my coaching clients and I asked him, what's gonna happen at the end of this? When we achieved it all, we hit the beach, you got your physique, you got your six-pack, you look amazing, everybody thinks you got an amazing physique, you have the best time drinking your favorite cocktail on the beach in Brazil and all the girls are there, you're having a great time. The day after, you wake up, what happens? He couldn't really understand. He was like, what do you mean what happens? I mean, I've just got my goal. And I was like, what do you think you would do? Eventually, what happens at the end is you just move the goalpost and you keep doing the things that you were doing. You just set new goals. So when I was average, chubby, skinny, fat, whatever you want to call my physique, I wanted to build a lean aesthetic body. But when I got there, the moment of glory, the satisfaction lasted maybe a day, maybe a week, maybe a month max. And then what do you say? Well, let me hit the gym again. Let me try to get a little bit bigger or get a little bit leaner. And there's always the day after the beach. So stop thinking of this as like, oh my God, I gotta really train hard for 3 months and then once the summer is here, then I can relax. Don't think like that. Instead, think of it as this is a lifelong journey. This is something that I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. And how is this going to be sustained? What is the best way to make this something that I do for the rest of my life? Next, if you're a gym bro in high school, you get pulled back into the gym at every waking moment because you're just thinking about doing the bench press. But for most other people that have a busy life, that have other things going on in life, the gym seems more like a chore. Fitness, eating right just feels like another extra thing you have to do on a list of to-dos. But what if you actually felt like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to the gym. I actually enjoy this so much. This is gonna be great. Oh my God, it's my rest day, but tomorrow I'm gonna go gym. This is genuinely how I feel 70+% of the time, and it's because I have what's called the minimalist training method. This is where you actually hold back a little bit. When you have this big enthusiasm, when you first start training, right? The January 1st effect, you just want to keep going. You just want to go next day, the next day, the next day. When you have that enthusiasm, have the discipline to actually save a little bit of that in the tank so that you experience this pullback. is getting pulled into the gym. What does this mean in concrete terms? It means have rest days in between your training days. Train only 2 to 3 times a week and give yourself lots of rest in between so you build momentum and consistency over speed. The next is what I call the rule of 3. This is going to allow you to avoid burnout and stay consistent for the long run. I've started applying it to my gym. Of course, you know, I train 3 times a week in the gym. When I started jiu-jitsu, like I said, I just applied it to jiu-jitsu. I said, you know what? I'm just going to train 3 times a week. No more hold myself back. I started applying it to almost everything that I want to do in my life with consistency. I just do it 1 day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whether it's content filming, writing emails and business stuff, eating out at restaurants, whatever I want to stay consistent with, I'm thinking about the rule of 3. It's the sweet spot between momentum and consistency. Next, you know these injury prevention programs, mobility programs, flexibility guides and videos? When did you start watching them and taking an interest in them? Probably when you had your first injury or when you were in pain because of a certain back pain or a flexibility issue. It's rarely when you are feeling just healthy in your teens and early 20s. This is exactly what my granddad told me as well. He said, guard your health when you're healthy, not when your health is going down. And I remember listening to him when I was 14 going, what the hell is he talking about? But now I get what he means. You want to actually rest before you even need it, because otherwise you will be forced to need it. You'll always have certain injuries, certain things that are going to make you have to rest. And I've had this so many times. So what I've started doing is that when I have intense periods of just super hard training, whether it's jiu-jitsu or gym, sometimes every 6 weeks, I might take a whole week off. This is what I call preemptive rest, and it allows me to get pulled back in. It allows me to prevent injuries, and this is again something that's going to protect your mental energy, your mental fatigue, which is one of the biggest reasons why people burn out. Next, I was walking back from the river a couple days ago, and my friend, she goes, oh my god, I can't wait when summer comes and I get to eat this papingsu, which is like this Korean dessert, like ice cream, ice slushy dessert thing. It's absolutely delicious. And she goes, I can't wait till I can eat that when my diet's over. What she means is that she's gonna get lean and drop body fat until the summer, and then when she is lean, she'll be able to have that dessert. That's how most people think about it, except that's not how diets work. If you just immediately start with this mindset of, okay, I'm gonna do this diet for a certain period of time, and at the end I get this huge reward and I'm gonna eat all my favorite foods, what's gonna happen at that point? You are gonna blow back up. You are just what you eat. Your diet is just how you eat constantly. You need to have this mental shift right now. Stop thinking of these cuts, these bulks in these short time frames as if they are just temporary things to achieve a temporary moment. Instead, think of it as, how can I tweak my diet to generally move who I am as a default into that general direction? Does that mean I don't have, something that looks like a cheat day? Or do I not have moments where at the end of summer I go, yay, and then I eat a big meal? Of course I do this. Of course I do this, maybe in a day, maybe in a week, maybe in a few months at various scales. But the idea is that you don't want to think of it in that kind of way. You want to still be living the life of a lean person when you get to the summer, so that you can keep and sustain that for the rest of your life if you wanted to, and get a little bulkier if you wanted to, but always be thinking in terms of sustainability over long periods of time rather than short bursts for Instagram pics. This is basically the philosophy of minimalist training, which I coach and help you with inside Minimalist Training Club, which is my private coaching community. So if you believe in these kind of concepts and you want me to help you get in shape, build muscle, lose fat, stay consistent, all without burnout, and actually have a system that works for you for the rest of your life, then join us. I'll leave the link below. I hope this video helped you. Share it with a guy that's about to burn out from doing too many sets on the bench press, and I'll see you next week.